It looks like we're going live. There we go. We're live now, guys. Hello, Rodney. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, Rodney, hello. Thank you. Yes, I feel much better. I don't know if I'm 100%, but I'm better. That's all that counts. Let's see if we got streaming settings, closed caption. I'm going to wait for a couple more views there, Rod. Stream health. We have a lot of changes that I made today. Uh, of course, I've been off lives and videos for a couple weeks, so uh, I was sick. First of all, we lost power. Then we lost internet altogether for 4 or 5 days, and then I got sick. So it's been a couple weeks. Sorry. Hey, Alvin, how's it going? Morning. So yeah, we have a few things to go over today, and there'll be some latency. I put a 60 second, so you can only each person can only send a message every 60 seconds. I'm going to try that so that I don't get specifically for trolls, so they don't constantly bombard me with BS. But it's good to be back. I really do, and I appreciate all the people that sent me good wishes. Good morning, David. Good pick. Okay, we have some new equipment installed. I had during the time I was sick. I got new audio equipment, including mics and a um, a soundboard to help with any echoes there might be when I'm with Paul. Filipino Joe, how you doing? Um, I am back. I'm back. I'm at 95% back. I still have a little bit of a cough sometimes, but feeling much better. Oh boy, I was running temperature. I had it went into walking pneumonia, so I had to lay back for a little while. So, but it's good to be back, guys. Anyway, so we're gonna try a couple things today, uh, and see how things are working because I have a new sound system. Uh, and if anybody has any questions, please go ahead and ask. Uh, we're taking special requests. uh, thanks, Steve. It's good to be back. Tomorrow I have a guest coming, a young Filipina. I'll be coming tomorrow, and I'll be recording her. And she's single and she's young. And uh, sounds great. That's good. Thanks. I'm not sure. We have a new sound system, Alvin. So whole new. So should be a better sound. But I still have a little bit of a cough, so you'll have to excuse me if I have to clear my throat once in a while. It was bad. I had really bad chest. I had bronchitis and I didn't take care of it, and I went to walking pneumonia. So, um, well, not good. Anyway, uh, it is good. It's good back. So yeah, we have now new microphones with new cabling system. I don't know if anybody's electronics sound equipment, but we used to use USB cables, which I'm sure everybody knows what that is. And now we're into XLR, which are more professional, three wire, heavier duty cables. And we changed the mics uh, to, uh, to a higher grade mic. I still like to get a better microphones, but the really good ones run about $400 each. So it's going to have to wait. And I did buy a sound system, which I'm going to show everybody. Uh, I actually have two cameras on right now. One you just can't see, but I have a second camera, which I'll show you the new soundboard, which we have the Rode Podcaster 2, and I had to rewire everything, so it's quite a bit of difference. Um, yeah, it does seem like forever since I've been on. And the other thing I need to check on is latency. So we were having problems with bandwidth, and so I had to change out. I had PLDT, which is our cable company out here, change out the fiber cable going all the way out the street because it was an old cable. They put in a new fiber, and I paid them for that and increased the speed. So hopefully it doesn't freeze. If it does, I'm going to have to give up and I'm going to have to go with Starlink. Uh, but I'm trying to hold back from Starlink because Starlink, I don't know if everybody knows, but they almost doubled their prices in June. So cost of the equipment's pretty high, and the monthly is pretty high. So trying not to have to use Starlink, but hey, if I do, I do. Is what it is. Uh, but anyway, in the Philippines, it's very difficult to get uh, high speed or uh, good internet here. Uh, 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 yes, I am now, Steve. I have a mixer. I now have a Rode Podcaster 2. I'm going to show a video of it in a minute with the second camera. Um, it's basically an interface mixer. It has special sounds. I don't know if anybody could hear the special sounds. I know I can, but since I'm new to this and it doesn't come with a book of instructions, I'm a little lost on it. Everything now is online, and this thing is so complicated. You need to be a tech engineer, sound engineer, to figure this thing out. It does too many things. Let's see. I'll do a couple things to see if you can hear it. As you notice, I have my headphones on, so I can hear it, but I don't know if you can. Now, could anybody hear that? Let me know. That's that was horns, and I don't know. I can hear it, but I don't know if you could hear it. Oh, thanks. I have no idea about the Rode podcast. That thing is so ridiculously complicated. Just setting it up and getting the mics to work on it was, oh, it does too much. It, in fact, maybe I'll show it now with the other camera. Anyway, loud and clear. Okay, we'll try another one. How's this one? And did you hear horns? I guess you did. Rowdy says loud and clear. Nothing. Yeah. Uh, yes. Gary, I feel much better. Thank you. Back in the saddle. Uh, San Jose is here in the Philippines. Anybody, there's San Jose's all over the U.S., but there's Island Trekker is actually in the Philippines. Hi, Gary. I actually had the pastrami sandwich. I just want to let you know, Gary, from our favorite restaurant. There's a deli that Gary took me to in town. Been here forever. I didn't know it. And when I was checking to find out where the best deli is for another uh, tourist that came into town and rented a bike from me, and he asked me where's the best delis. I go, "I- there's a guy I know that goes to all these restaurants. He knows the best Mexican, the best Italian. I'm sure he'll know the best deli." And Gary invited me out for my birthday and treated me to this new deli, which I didn't know. I mean, it's not actually new; it's been around for a while, but I didn't even know it existed. And incredible food, and now I'm gaining weight. Thank you very much, Gary. Uh, was watching another blogger. He was able to claim Starlink as a business expense on his Well, yeah, I don't really have business taxes that I have to worry about because I don't make enough money. Being retired, you're allowed quite a bit of income before you have to pay tax over and above Social Security. So save all the receipts on the purchase of equipment. True, Gil. Yes. You can use it as a write-off, that's true. I don't need a write-off. In fact, technically, I don't even have to do a tax return, and I haven't for a couple of years, so, but did anybody hear the clapping? Because I didn't nobody said they heard anything. Did you hear that? Nobody heard anything. If you can't, I understand. Uh, that's a record scratch. God, that's almost like as bad as a chalkboard. Uh, Crickets, okay. Yeah, I know Starlink bumped their prices. That's one of the reasons why I went with a higher speed, no clapping, huh? Okay, can't hear it. I'm gonna have to find out why. I don't know how to set this thing up. Um, there's a trombone. Yeah, you may not be able to hear it. Now I do know. Let me switch. Uh, let me go to FX. Uh, they have a voice disguiser. So now my voice will sound a little different. Or anybody hear that? I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. That's the weird part. Since I'm hooked up to the uh, special effects, uh, I can hear the differences, but you may not. I don't know if they're going out that way. But we'll figure it out eventually. I'll figure out the wiring. It's a little complicated. Anyway, uh, heard the trombone. Okay, a demon. Okay, that worked.
How about this? Now I sound like Mickey Mouse.
So I guess special effects work on sound. There's a megaphone. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Goldfinger Live Podcast. So there's some things you could do. Those are vocal effects. Okay, thanks. Vocal effects work, but sound effects don't seem to. Interesting. I'll have to figure that out. There's a monster voice, a large robot. The games we could play. So I have to show you this thing. It's very interesting. Megaphone work. Cool. Thanks, Alvin. And what are the other things? I have no idea what ducking is. I don't think you sound like a duck. And then there's a beep in case somebody says something wrong. I can I can beep out their words. But there's you can have a total of 32 different special effects on this thing. It's a little complicated. Uh, and it's a bit much. Oh, there's a monster voice too. Digitizer. All right, interesting. And now here's the really bad voice, mine. Okay, so megaphone work, cool. Anyway, well, we're gonna figure this out. I don't know how to use some of the sound effects for like instruments. I think there's some might be a setup in OBS that's cutting out certain frequencies, which is not voice within the voice frequency. So horns and bells may not go through, and I'm gonna have to figure that one out. Uh, I have no idea how to set up a foot switch. Voice or not, a voice not loud, according to Rodney, or clear. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm gonna have to figure back. But this is. Let me see if I get the other camera. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna block me out so I can move around. Hold on a second, guys. Uh, let me uh, let me open up OBS. I'm gonna switch cameras. So hold on a second. My camera's gonna be gone, so I'm gonna disappear. Hold on, guys. There's technical difficulty here. All right. All right. So I'm going to put on this camera. And I'm going to try to move away. Let's see if I can make this smaller. Anyway, this is the Rode Podcaster 2, and it has very many uh, things you could do with it. A lot of knobs, a lot of sliders, a lot of lights, a lot of buttons. Uh, and this, I might as well see it. This is my uh, this is the you see I have studio lights. I could put on lighting on another uh, and adjust lighting so that you can see. We can put lighting on. We can change the tone. We can lower it. We can raise it, and probably need to turn it off. Green screen for the other person, the other seat. We have a couple different mics over there. So you see the soundproofing ceiling walls. I have lights above in both corners with a sheer umbrella. Uh, and so you can see I have a ton of equipment left over uh, that I'm still playing with and using another light that I can put on in case there's a shadow. Now you're gonna see the background. You're gonna see me. Hello. Anyway, I'm gonna switch cameras again. Let's go. Let's turn this one off. Anyway, that's the new equipment, and that's complicated. So just gotta give you an idea. All right. I guess camera off and my camera on. There I am. Hello, I'm back. So let me go ahead and go back to uh, read comments. I got to go back to road. And go back to here we are. All right. Hey, Delta Chris. Good evening. Great to see you, and I hope you are recovered from your recent health. 90%. He's in Cebu. Okay, cool. Little crowded. If YouTube is withholding taxes, you can claim them when you file a tax return. Okay, thanks, David. I'll see. They probably are. I put in there. I told him. I think I told him not to say. I don't have to hold. I don't not. I don't need withholding because I'm retired. But I can't remember when I first set up if I did that right. Um, there's a lot of equipment here, Alvin. All this will help keep you young. There's a lot to learn. Uh, and I'm still learning. So it'll be interesting Wednesday when Paul comes to see if I got this set up properly. But I had to get rid of that echo. It was driving me nuts. And I tried everything. I tried different microphones. I tried OBS. I tried a lot of things that they call compressor, open gates, um, changing the gain. Nothing was working. Uh, and so finally, I decided to use a sound interface, and it seems to stop the echo. I get dry throat, so it might be the medicine. I'm still on antibiotics. Let's see. Danilo says he'll be in Dumaguete next month. Any chance we can meet up? Sure. I was listening to all talking. You don't have to make any promises. You won't get a word in edgeways. Uh, good morning, Tony. Saying good morning to everybody. So I liked this scene I have today. If you look at the scene, because it's been very wet and rainy here, and I'm going like I wish I was back. This looks like the background on me. It looks like something from New Mexico. I'm going to take a guess. New Mexico. I'm not sure where those rocks are, but what a relaxing looking farm. In fact, with the horse, I kind of miss it. It's an old farmhouse, hills with those mountains. I'm not sure if anybody recognizes where this is. Hey, thank you, Rodney. Oh my God, hold on. I gotta get the magic duck. Magic duck. All right. Rodney gave me 5. Woohoo! Greetings from East Coast, USA. You have become me and my friend's favorite drive time entertainment for this first time catching you live. Oh, great. I'm glad you caught me live. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Geez, I have to go back a little. Good morning, Tony, to everyone. Okay, I said that. I played music for 25 years and I was learning mixing all day. All till the day I stopped. No idea how this thing works. You get over here, Steve, you're gonna have to teach me. I This thing was way too complicated. Way too complicated. Doesn't come with a manual. You have to go online to Roadcaster. I forgot what they call it. Uh, Roadcaster Central, and then try to figure it out because they have different firmwares that you load. So everyone's a little different. Oh, Sedona area. Oh yeah, Sedona's nice. That's in Arizona, in between Flagstaff and Prescott, I think. Sedona isn't Sedona there? No, is that near Sedona? Yeah, I think it is. I think that's where it is. Very beautiful area. It used to be so cheap, and then it became real fancy. Uh, Big money got in there, and uh, it's a shame because I would say 25 years ago, I was offered large pieces of property there very cheap, less than 500 an acre. I don't think you can touch now. It's probably Goes by the square foot now. It wasn't very expensive. About 25 years ago, it was real cheap. Ansel Adams used to go there and do artwork, and and he made it popular from his artwork. Actually, they have there a huge near the college area where they do music forums, and it's surrounded by the mountains. And it's a natural. They carved out a natural area for doing music there with the mountains and lighting the hills around you. It's gorgeous. Yeah, Sedona is nice. Flagstaff is beautiful. Yeah, they get a lot more water. Though I grew up in California and then Las Vegas, which has no water in Las Vegas. It's just everything's brought in. You would think the way they have those waterfalls and lakes from the big hotels like the Bellagio, that the place has tons of water, but everything's brought in from another state. Mine slips. Colorado River. Yeah, brought in from the Colorado River. And they waste a lot of water in Vegas, to be honest with you. It's pure desert. Anyway, I do miss Vegas though. I moved to Vegas in 2005 and then I left in 2020 when COVID hit. So I do miss Vegas, but it's changed like everything else. I haven't been back. So it's been 5 years. They've built a lot of things there since I left. Stadium, a dome, many things have changed there. And traffic, I'm sure, has gotten worse. It wasn't good when I was there. Hey, Tony, thank you very much. Yeah, yep, it gets the chicken, the wild chicken. uh, we could play some. Let's see. Let's see. Hey! Oh God. I had an echo on. I gotta find out where that echo is. Turn that off. Okay, I think it's off. Yeah. All right. I left an echo on somewhere. So yeah, it's good to be back, guys. Uh Utah could be Utah. Uh Wherever it is, it's a lot drier than we are here. Very beautiful. We've had so much rain, and I mean flooding rain. Like the main highway out front where I live has flooded over. It's covered in mud and ruts, and they have a lot of work to do to clean it up. Which is National Highway, which is the main road that goes in and out of town. Now, we're going to talk about something that came to my attention today. A fella showed up in the Philippines in Dumaguete today and was wandering the streets. And a friend of mine, Lowell, but without giving the Lowell's here, he came back, ran into him, and for the time being, gave him a place to stay. He had come. He's 70 years old, without a name. I'm not gonna say that, but he came from the Midwest, and he he got confused or nervous at traveling over here, and he left his wallet in Seattle on the flight over. He couldn't take or handle the problems that they're having in the U.S., especially with a lot of things that have happening in big cities where Trump has had to come in and bring a national guard and request almost to the point of martial law without calling martial law, but curfews and things like that. So he decided to leave the country because he had a passport. Unfortunately, he left his wallet in Seattle. Not sure. He's not sure how he lost it. Not sure if it fell out or whatever. But he showed up. He was on a flight and he showed up and he got to Philippines and came through customs and realized he doesn't have a wallet. He got his luggage. So he has a cell phone and he has a laptop, but he has absolutely no money. And since he lost his cards that were in his wallet, he has no way of getting money. Now he has a little bit of money in the bank, but he is retired. I spoke to him a little bit on the phone, uh, on Messenger video. Um, he is retired. He's 7 years old, and he only gets $1,300 a month. Which when I say only, I mean it's about the average of what a person gets, typical worker gets upon retirement. It's not enough to live on in the U.S. Obviously, it's enough to live on here as a single person. Uh, you're not going to live lavishly, but you can live here on 1,300 and have your own place. But because he lost his wallet, he had no money. So Lowell was nice enough to rent him a place for a week and help him out. And I said, you need to find out his banking information and go on his laptop, find out his banking information, and see if the bank can do something, maybe a wire transfer or something of that nature. Because he doesn't have a U.S. phone number when he came over here, um, and his phone. Either he didn't unlock it or he didn't extend the service, so he doesn't have a US phone number while he's here, so he cannot use a PIN code from the bank. Uh, there's a problem also with transferring money from Western Union, because he's not sure of all of his information, like his driver's license number. Doesn't have family back home, no family, no kids, nothing. Oh, there's a real problem. He's got a real problem. Now you guys, if you come over here, we've gone over this 100 times. You have to prepare for things that happen. You need photocopies of all your important cards, Social Security card. He doesn't know his Social Security number. He needs to know, shoot, I have this cough. Excuse me. You have to take at least phone, I would say two things. A photocopy and save it in a file if you can of all your cards that you're bringing, Social Security, driver's license, and fronts and backs of charge cards. Birth certificate would help. If you have divorce papers, bring them. Another thing is to make actual copies at FedEx, laminate them, put them in your carry on, and not in your checked suitcase, but in your carry on so they're with you all the time. A copy of your passport. That you should make one copy and fold it up, put it in your wallet, and another copy on your phone. Uh, you have to have more than one way to get money, especially if you come over here for just a few months or it's your first time. Get extended service and get a second phone when you get here. Make sure your phone's unlocked. Uh, if it's not unlocked, you're gonna have to pay to get it unlocked. But get a second phone when you get here and get a local SIM card. Or in some cases, you can have dual SIM cards. But a lot of guys have problems figuring out how to use a dual SIM. You can't use one country's phone number at the same time you're using another, obviously. So it's a problem. You're going to switch back and forth. I'd say it's better to have two phones, but that's just my personal opinion. Get the ebook. It talks about all these things. Okay. Uh, have backup plans for finances. So if anybody wants to help him, I was asked to see if anybody would help him, and I said I would put it out there. Um, if anybody wants to help him, he has funds. As soon as he gets them, he would pay you back. So if you want to help him, you can send it to me. I will make note of it, and if nothing else, I'll vouch for it to get the money returned to you if he reneges and doesn't. But it's going to take him a couple weeks, if not a month, to get the funds out of the U.S. I believe he's from Minnesota. So Tony asked if I'm living on a hill. No, I don't live on a hill, but when we're talking about major rain here, you don't need to live on a hill. But water does run out my front gate, but I've seen it as deep as 4 inches on my property on the driveway. Monday evening for Andrew says Monday evening. Uh, Queens, New York. I've been there. Glad you're better. I still have a little bit of a cough and I get dry throat. You'll have to excuse me. I sometimes cough a little bit. Hey, Saul, how's it going? So we talked about a fella who needs some help financially. He has no money for food or no money for a hotel or anything. Lowell, a friend of mine, is helping him out. So if anybody wants to help him, in the ebook is my PayPal, or you can contact me. You can send money to me. I'll give it to him, but it's going to be a loan, and I'll back it as a loan if you want the money back. If that comes up. Advice to the guys: stay healthy. Yeah. You don't think eggs are good? Oh, if they're not refrigerated, not necessarily true, but be careful of the Valencia market strand. It's made in someone's house. It's made in someone's house. Stick with the major supermarkets. I'll tell you what the difference is. We refrigerate eggs in the U.S. because they're washed and cleaned, but eggs have a film on them naturally from the chicken that keeps them from going bad. Now, you can still refrigerate eggs. I've never refrigerated eggs here, never had to, because they don't wash them, radiate them, or any of that other stuff here. They have them natural. So that's a natural film that keeps the eggs okay. Well, yeah, passport card is good. So, uh, let's see. Can you send him to the U.S. consulate? Yeah, we've been talking about sending him to the U.S. Consulate. Let's help the U.S. consulate is in Manila. Yeah, so somebody's going to have to pay for him to stay in Manila, eat in Manila, fly to Manila. I don't think Lowell right now said, "Hey, I'm going to help him with a week or two of food and hotel." But uh, yeah. Anyway, his start here in Dumaguete wasn't planned properly. So yeah, Gary, not a good start. Uh, I suggested you said world remit, and I said remitly. I'm not sure 100% what he needs for remitly, but I did tell Lowell he should go online and see if he can get remitly, and remitly can pull the money from his account. I do not know if he knows his bank account information. I do not know if he knows his driver's license. I'm sure he probably knows his Social Security. He does not have an address anymore in the U.S. He doesn't have any family in the U.S., so he doesn't have he doesn't have a U.S. phone number. He doesn't have a U.S. address. That's a problem, guys. Especially when you're retired. I don't know how he's getting. If he gets any kind of information from Social Security, they're going to mail it to the last known address. He's not going to get it. So I don't know. It's not. You got to have some help from somebody. It could be a friend or somebody, but somebody has to get your mail, especially if it's government mail. Uh, but yeah, World Remit's one. I suggested Remitly, World Remit, or Wise. The problem with Wise is you do need a U.S. phone number. Hi, Mike. How's it going? Uh, is he all there? No, I spoke with him. I don't feel he's all there. He's either distraught or confused. He's 70% there. He's not as sharp or clear. I'm 69. I don't think he's as sharp or clear as me. I'm not always on top of things. I'm not always right there either, but I'll forget things. But when I talk to him, he seems a little confused or disheveled. So I would say no. I can't say he's 100% there. There's no way he should have come here. You know, he wasn't prepared. Uh, I will contact Paul when I know more about that, Andrew. I didn't want to contact Paul yet because I don't know enough of information about it. It just came to me a few hours ago, around 3 o'clock this afternoon. I found out about it. I went and talked to him through my friend's phone, and he seemed very confused and distraught. So I'm not sure if it's an age thing or he's just upset with himself. Uh, he's almost looks like he's just throwing in the towel, like I effed up. You know, I don't know, but I'll talk with Paul about that. No, he did not have any gold jewelry. He only gets 1,300 a month, Gary. Uh, so he doesn't have anything to sell of value other than his phone and his laptop, which I think he should keep. It should have pertinent information on it, I'm hoping. Uh, At last I left, Lowell was gonna check his computer and phone to see what information he has. He should have phone numbers. I can't understand why he doesn't have any friends or family, but I guess there are people that do not have any friends or family. So, uh, feeling better, Mike. Thanks. Still got some congestion. I'm still on antibiotics, and I get dry throat and a little bit of a runny nose and some phlegm. To be perfectly honest, I get a little bit of phlegm. Hey, Rob. So you just joined. Hi. So, so if anybody would like to help him, I'll back it. They send me the money, I'll help him. But I think the best thing for him to do is to go to the U.S. consulate and try to get some help there. They probably do have funds to help Americans. At least they're not going to let them out on the street and starve. So anyway, that's now I'm going to talk about something else, something a little more positive, and we can go. If anybody has any questions about that, they could ask me later. Uh, there's a school. I had moved from my previous apartment to a house, which everybody pretty much knows. And Carolyn, son, is just turned 6, June 10th, 6 years old, and he started elementary school right up the street from me. And I visited the school because I was going to offer them fans. So we still tried. I still have a little bit of funds left over for fans, and all their classrooms have fans. It seems that in the Dumaguete area, they decided to put fans in all the classrooms. Thank God, because it was way too hot. And that was something that we had done last year through um, another really good expat here. And we had put some fans in the classroom, and I thought, okay, we need to do this. We need to get fans in classrooms. They don't have air conditioning. It's so hot. You can't think in a class. I don't know how they teach anything, but they take a lot of breaks. And Danny Dubois headed that up. Great guy out here that helps a lot of people. But he was mostly interested in the class that his daughter was going to from his Filipina. Uh, so anyway, we helped to put fans in classrooms. That wasn't sorry, my throat's dry. Um, I'm gonna run out of water. So, so I don't, there's no need for me to do fans in classrooms anymore. It seems like they have the fans. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a computer classroom at this school, and they just started school, opened them back up, literally today. This school is pretty big. Has three principals. Elementary school. I'm gonna see about setting them up with another computer classroom like I did last year. Um, I have to go back to talk to him because today was not the best day. It was the first day back to school. And so I'm going to ask for a fundraiser. I'm going to put out a new updated ebook and ask request funds. So if anybody would like to help with doing another a computer classroom like I did last year, I don't know how many of you remember it, but we spent 300,000 and created a whole classroom with tablets, big screen TV, made an air conditioned room secured, made sure they had a security guard there 24/7, put in a lockable locker where they can store all the equipment at night or over the weekends or holidays. I checked with them today and yesterday, spoke to the IT teacher, and they're still very functional, very happy. I asked them if there was anything else they needed, and he said a charging station would have been better than the electrical on the tables. And I looked into that, and they do make charging stations anywhere from 24, 30 chargers. Uh, they're not made, they're brought in from either China or Japan or Australia. And they're about 50,000 pesos or so, roughly $1,000. And so that would be, so if we did the same thing again, it would be 350,000 to do the whole thing all over again with 24 laptops. Of course, I'll save a little bit on the electrical because I won't need the electrical costs. But to do another big screen TV, we had a 75-inch high definition, uh, dual screen. a really really nice flat screen that we got brackets for it hung up high so that the whole classroom could see it. We had a very high tech computer that I had bought, an HB from the US with it can handle all 24 tablets. It can handle everything, and we pre-programmed all the different educational software onto it that we could find, and tied it all into his laptop. We have a couple tech people out here that knew how to do this all wirelessly. We got in a high speed uh, internet firm and everything else. So I'm gonna try and do it again if anybody's interested. And it's I cannot afford it myself, so I'll be looking for help, and we'll be talking more about that in the future. But I think it'd be another thing to do for Christmas. Be a nice big Christmas thing. If we could do one school a year and then put in a computer classroom, that would be awesome. Rob says he's here in Cancun working 8 a.m. Be back in Vegas in 3 weeks. Let's see. I bet it's getting hot in Vegas. Thanks, Steve. Steve said PM me. I may not remember. Where's my phone? Uh, I'm gonna have to. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Let's go back. Uh, what did I do? Oh, this is not my phone. This is the camera. Silly me. Okay, hold on. Got to move the duck. Uh, multiple messages here. Hey, yeah, yeah. Uh, let's see. I have 5 messages from Lowell. Uh, okay. A few people talk to me while I'm on live with you. That's not going to work, guys. I can't read all those. So let me make a list here uh, for a new list. Boom. Text. Computer classroom. Uh, classroom 2025. And Steve White, 57. I don't know if I have you. Well, I have your email. So, Steve, I'm sure I do have your email. So I'll contact you, Steve. Thank you. Uh, it does take quite a bit to make these things happen. Anyway, uh, there's a U.S. consulate in Cebu. Okay, I will let Lowell know. I did not know that. First day of school today. Yep. First day of school today is actually, yeah, Monday. It's today, Monday. Quite a zoo out there. We had big floods come in and destroy the main road. Quite a mess. There's only one lane open for both ways. Sorry, I'm getting dry throat again. Uh, maybe you should be doing a live right now. You need more rest. And chicken soup. Well, I haven't been online for 2 weeks, over 2 weeks. I think it's 16 days. I'm getting. I need to do something. What is the price of laptops, sir? What brand do you buy? Okay, so I buy electronics from Amazon for several reasons. One is they have free shipping. Secondly, even though they probably come from China and I could possibly get it cheaper from China, when I order them from China, I have to order them through a local Lazada, Shopee, and returns are difficult, especially if you get something that doesn't work right. Amazon is wonderful about returns, and their prices they have sales, and they don't have sales on Lazada or Shopee. So I usually wait until November um, to order all this stuff because they have giant sales. And what I buy is one laptop for the teacher and then tablets for all the children. The tablets cost under $100 each, as I remember. Uh, the laptop is obviously more, $700 plus shipping. When you go over $300, there's import taxes. So what I do is I order two tablets at a time. Sometimes I get them for $70. So I can only order two. I can only two at a time. So I order two at a time, but I can make multiple orders. So I can make 12 orders two at a time and not pay any import fees as long as it's under $200. On the laptop, I have to pay the import fees. There's no way of getting around it, but I get a better product because locally you cannot get a high end computer here, especially an HP. Uh, uh, and and so and then if there's anything like I needed like electrical wire or anything else or a security cabinet, that's local. I can get that locally. Uh, Software is free. I have plenty of software for children here, and Carolyn loads each tablet and computer up with the software. I have techs here that can make all that happen for free. I get expats to help me, and then I'm going to get a multi tablet charging station where you just put them in and they charge. You just have to put them in slots. They charge without wires. They wireless charging. They have 24 to 30 machines. I looked at them last year and we didn't have the budget to buy it, unfortunately. But this year I'm going to go for a charging station, and it's a lockable charging station. So you mount it on the wall, bolt it on the wall, you plug it in, and basically it has a front that locks up. So that's what we're going to do. So that answers that, Rob. If you have any questions, email me. Uh, you're welcome, Paul. Uh, honey, yeah, honey helps the throat. Sioux City is at the ground floor of the Waterfront Hotel. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm sure Paul knows this. I don't. I'm gonna take a picture of it. Just do that real easy. I'll take a picture of it now. I don't have to worry about it till later. Got it. All right. So thank you for that, Delta. Uh, Smash the likes button. Yes. Smash the like button. And then all right. So yes, what do we got? We got 32 likes, 54 people currently. Uh a mist machine for your voice. It keeps your throat from getting dry while you're talking. There's a lot of things I have to buy, Steve, yet, huh? A mist machine for my throat. Water here is probably not good for electronics, though. Uh, I don't know how a mist machine would work for your throat. It just sounds like I'd be misting my throat. It's kind of just sounds weird. I don't know, Steve. I knew I was going to get dry throat, though. So I get that if I talk too much right now. But you never know. You can't keep a big mouth shut. See, I can make fun of myself. I'm my own worst troll. Anyway, I'm kind of excited about the computer classroom. Uh, really, it's made for singers. That's cool. Uh, so, uh, so yeah, let's gonna work on that. I'm gonna talk a little bit more with Paul on it on Wednesday and see if we can't raise enough funds to do a computer classroom for this Christmas. I haven't done anything so far this year for the kids. I do have a little bit of money left over from fans. As I said earlier, the fans have been covered. The schools put in fans in the classrooms this year, so I don't have to do the fans. Thank God. I wasn't real excited about the fans anyway. They're not very exciting. But a computer classroom is pretty cool. I like that one. Uh, is Paul Old Dog the one having problems? He lost his sister about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. Let's see. I got sick on 2 weeks ago. I got sick and we had to cancel our live. I've been sick for 10 days at least, maybe 2 weeks. And then Paul lost his sister last week. I think the day or two before our live, and he wasn't up to coming down. So even Paul and I have not been live for the last two times. He will be here this Wednesday, which is our Wednesday morning, your Wednesday night. Uh, let's see. Andrew says, "Have you thought about doing a 501c3 for your charitable work? Might be easier to get the funds you need." I don't want to make it more complicated. Okay, I don't have time to deal with U.S. requirements. Okay, if people give me funds and say, "Hey, buy stuff for the kids," and I'm doing things for the kids, and I keep it simple, okay, I don't have to get into accounts and taxes and other legalities, okay? So I just trying to help kids. Keeping it simple is really the best way for me because I'm not into paperwork, okay? Or starting a charitable fund or having to create a what would it be? Uh, uh, a separate entity. I don't want to do all that. Is Mexico cheaper than Dumaguete? In some ways it was, and in other ways it wasn't. It didn't have any of the amenities that Dumaguete has. Dumaguete has better restaurants, better food, especially foreign foods. Mexico was a little cheaper on living expenses as far as food and housing. But again, I'm comparing that to what I am today, and that was 3 years ago, maybe more, 3.5 years ago. So it's kind of hard to compare because everything's gone up quite a bit in 3.5 years. Um, I would say it was very comparable, but you're not going to have the choices. You don't have large shopping centers like they do here or big malls. Now, where I lived in Mexico was a very small town, a coastal town in the south called Puerto Escondido. Um, and it was in the state of Oaxaca. And I also stayed in the city of Oaxaca, in Oaxaca State, and Puerto Escondido. Uh, very rural. They didn't have a whole lot of they didn't have fast foods like, any of that. They didn't have McDonald's or Pizza Hut or, any of those like they have here, they have donut stores here, Foster's and things like that. Uh, so you kinda even here, it's not like it is in Las Vegas. Trust me, it's a big difference. But living here is a fourth of the cost of living in Las Vegas. The difference between Mexico and Dumaguete is if I went to a rural town in the outside of the city, it would be cheaper to live here. But you're not going to be liking what's available because there's nothing to do. Um, Excuse me, guys. Um, so I've built my home. I'm not gonna say I built it. I improved the home I rent to make it more like what I would like in the States. That costs money. I like decent food here. That costs money. Having deli food, having pizza, having Mexican food, and going to nicer restaurants that are clean, obviously costs more money. So do I spend more money here? Yes, versus Mexico. Mexico was not as nice, living, standards as I have now here in Dumaguete. Now, Cebu's even nicer, and it costs more. It's a bigger city, has bigger malls, has more restaurants. We don't have a Burger King here. We don't have we have Dunkin' Donuts, but we don't have Krispy Kreme donuts. I mean, they have a lot more Americanized restaurants in Cebu. And you go to Manila, it's even more crowded and can be more expensive. They have certain areas, BGC, and a few areas with high rises that are beautiful sidewalks, beautiful trees, beautiful roads, and it's like living in any city in the USA. It's going to cost you as much, no savings. So I guess that's the long answer for you, big time. Sorry. Uh, did I have a temp? I had a 6 month visa, which they allowed me to renew every 6 months, and it is easy to get. Now, again, this is 3 years ago. When I left, they were cracking down on specifically younger guys that had digital nomads who had a living. They're coming in there on a tourist visa, but they're not tourists, they're working. They're just working online. So they were cracking down on that and sometimes only giving them 2 or 3 weeks, not 6 months. Uh, I didn't have a problem because I was obviously older and retired and had an income from Social Security, which I could show. But on the 4th time when I renewed it, 4th or f I was there for 2 years. So on the 4th time I renewed it, I was warned that there might not be a 5th or it'll be shorter. Morning, David. Edmonton, Alberta. 7:22. A couple hours difference. So it's 9:25 here. Uh, PM. Uh, so I have to leave. In fact, big time. I have to leave here next year in January. I'm planning on going to Vietnam. So I'm on a tourist visa here. And tourist visa here now are only 2 months long. They'll allow you to go 2 months at a time. They were 6 months. They cut it back to 2 months. And then every 3 years, you have to leave this country for 24 hours. I'm going to spend a week with Carolyn, and we plan on going to Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City, and then we're going to take a train ride to, I don't remember it, a city that has resorts on the beach. Starts with the letter Z. You guys can help me out. I can't remember. Ho Chi Minh to Da Nang. I think it's Da Nang. Yeah. We'll be going to Da Nang, spending a few days there, and then flying back to Ho Chi Minh and then flying back home. Getting away for a week is not easy for me because Carol and I both are very busy, have busy lives. She's in charge of renting motor scooters, artwork, and has her son here. And we have 2 dogs, and I'll have somebody watching the house for us while we're gone. And I'm busy with lots of projects, helping people and things like that. But I'll be finished with the Christmas stuff, and so I'll leave first week or so in January because I help a lot of kids in January with Christmas time. And we're gonna do a computer thing. We're gonna try and do a computer thing and get it all together. I have I have 5 months. I could do it. Small town in Philippines. I prefer the small towns in Philippines. I'm sorry, I missed a couple guys. Uh Sort of NGO like the politicians do. Yeah, I'm not a politician. Text second. Hello from Chicago. Feeling better. Well, as you can see, I still have a cough, still have a little bit of chest condition. Feeling much better. I'm at 85, 90%. Usually hits me worse at night, so I'm doing pretty good tonight. No one mentioned all the air pollution in Cebu and Makati, Manila. Well, bigger cities, more pollution. That's just the way it is. It's all the way everywhere in the world. It's like Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, bigger cities, bigger pollution. The beauty of it is that we're on islands, so if you get a breeze, it does blow it off to sea. Da Nang. Oh, yeah, yeah, Da Nang. Thank you, Delta. Uh, well, Christmas is year round here. I swear they have more holidays here, David, than anything I've ever seen. They don't miss one holiday. They celebrate the world's holidays here. I swear. They don't need any particular reason to have a holiday. It seems like every week somewhere there's a holiday here. In any case, yes, they started early. But I'm going to try and push for a Christmas week or two before Christmas, get the computer class done. Last year I did it and I started in July or August, so I think I could do it again. We're pretty early. I think I can get it done. It just depends on the funds. If the funds come in, I can order the stuff. And I'll tell you, it's easier than helmets because I just order it. It's already ready. Carolyn does the loading of the software. I just do the physical uh, ordering. I don't have to do the electrical this time. I pretty much did one already, so it should be a little bit cheaper and a little bit easier to do another one. I know where to order everything, where to get the best prices. and and if I have a charging station, I don't have any of the electrical problems I have to worry about. They can just get up and put the tablets into the cabinet, and the cabinet charges them. And it's a lot easier. I don't have to worry about all that stuff. Let's see. Yeah, the thing about birthday parties in the Philippines, which I just celebrated my 69th birthday, is you pay when you have a birthday party, you pay for everything. The birthday person pays for the food. You go to birthday dinner, that means you're paying for everybody. Uh, so, it's pretty strange here, it's different. It's like, "Thank you very much, I had a birthday, but it cost me thousands of pesos to feed everybody." I never thought of Vietnam as a tourist destination for Andrew. It just bogs my mind, the whole thing after the police action war. There you know what? They are what is it? Vietnam is no there's no animosity towards Americans from what I was told by others. I haven't been there, but what I was told by others is that's done and gone. They don't it's just like going to Germany. They don't it's just another era. Um, Matt see, Matt Montoya, or is it Matt Monty? Matt Monty in Atlanta, not a scooter rider, but what has been the experience of people using the Rora R I don't know what Aurora is, so I couldn't tell you. I don't drive a car, and I don't recommend a car here in the Philippines for several reasons. One is, uh, you're a guest here in the Philippines, and they make it known. You're also a target. Um, if you get in an accident with a car, good luck. You're in trouble. So, uh, uh, you could be completely right. The right of way, registration, license, and everything, and a person hits you with a motorbike that has no registration, no license, wasn't wearing their helmet, didn't have the right to be on the street, maybe, and you have the car and you're a foreigner, uh, you're screwed. You're paying for everything. You're paying for his bike, you're paying for him being out of work, you're paying for his injuries, and you could be sued, and you won't win. It's just the way it is here. So keep that in mind. It raises your liability. Uh, Strongly suggest car insurance if you get a car. Really good car insurance. Pollution was so bad I had to go to doctor every 10 days for meds. Doctors told me to move. Pollution was bad where, Paul? I know you said where you were, but where were you? Were you in Cebu or Manila? Davis says it's an all around great country, Paul. Lays it out great culture. People way of life, pros and cons. Great detail. Both you and Paul info is great. Well, thank you. Um, you have to remember you're a guest here. Yeah, it's a great country and the people are really nice. But when it comes to anybody that wants to sue or wants to make extra money on you, called the skin tax, uh, you're screwed. You are. Yeah. I've gotten in accidents with other people, and it's their fault. A U-turn and ran me with their bike, knocked me over. I got hurt not too long ago this year. They literally made a U-turn on a one-way street and hit me, broadside of me, knocked me off my bike. Uh, didn't look, didn't use her mirrors, didn't turn her head. Had witnesses. Witnesses said exactly what I said, and the cop asked me for my registration and my license. Never asked hers. Uh, I said, "Look, I'm not looking for anything." I was bleeding. I was limping. I was hurt. I had road rash. Scraped up my bike and everything. Did I get any money out of it? Not really. Cost me 2,500 to for the parts for the bike, another 500 to put it on, and I was kind of upset about it, but I wasn't angry. I didn't get mad. I was very nice, and I says, "Well, they are at fault. They did make a mistake. They have to pay something to learn their lesson." So I asked them for 500 pesos, and that's what they negotiated it down to. Actually, I asked them for 2,500 to pay for the part they damaged. They said they don't have 2,500. There were two schoolgirls going to college. I said, "How about 2,000?" So they looked at between the two of them. All he had was 500. I said, "Fine, do pay the 500." Luckily, I had medical, so I took care of the medical myself. It was 100% coverage. I was limping. I was hurt. I had damaged fingers for weeks on end, where I couldn't squeeze my hand closed. You know, the policeman was definitely one-sided, but it is what it is. You know, in the states, it would have been a whole different world way it was handled. Um, September 1st, Christmas season. Christmas season is known as the The Burr months, the BER months. September, October, November, December. I get it. Good idea. It's true. Uh, Raymond says, "Does the guy have a social online account?" I do not know. I haven't spoke to him in detail. It came in at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and I haven't had detail with him yet. But since he does not have a U.S. phone number, that won't help. Well, that's true, but he does have a laptop. Um, he's going to need to get help from somebody that has the time uh, to spend to help him. I think going to Cebu to a U.S. Consulate or to the embassy would help him because they have funds to help people. So that's what I'm going to recommend is that he goes there. Uh, both cities' doctors told me to move. Again, Paul, where are you? I don't remember where you said you were. Uh, so Andrew's asking, hey, Paul, where did you move to? We don't know. I am moving. I am more give Christmas. Yeah, that's what it says. Christmas time. Let me know when you help the school kids. I'm helping them now. The money starts now, David. It takes money to make things happen. Okay. I decided to do the school, a computer classroom, and we're just going to decide which class it's going to be and secure it. And I need to start ordering things for them and getting things. Most of it just has to be gotten ahead of time so that we could program with software and figure out how many tables we have based on that'll to tell me how many people we can put at a table on either side, how we can arrange the tables, and so how many I shouldn't say people, kids, how many children can go per table. That'll decide how many tablets I need. I need to do some studying on Amazon to see what tablets, what's the best deal I can get. I can't order them until a month or two before Christmas because that's when they go on sale. Um, anyway, I appreciate David. Yeah, try and reach me. Um, because I will be raising funds for that. How would you like the money sent? West, PayPal is best. If you do it as friends and families, by the way, if you send money by friends and family, um, do it by friends and family. Okay, that's what I'm trying. If you send money by PayPal, do it by friends and family. They don't charge a fee. If you send money like you're purchasing something, they take say the PayPal will take some of the money as insurance. Paul says he was in Makati, Manila, and Cebu. Now I'm near the boardwalk of Dumaguete. Yeah, Dumaguete's probably cleaner. I was in Cebu. I never spent any time in Manila. I never left the airport. Cebu was crowded. It reminded me of LA. Had busy streets. You kind of always had to kind of look behind your back. There was too many people coming up from behind you. A lot of traffic, and yeah, it was a lot of traffic. And it was smoggy. They did have beautiful malls, and they had great restaurants. But Dumaguete's a little bit older and laid back. So now he's near the boardwalk. That's good. Andrew says, how does the pollution levels compare for the major cities in Philippines compared to LA or New York? Manila's bad. Manila's a major city. Manila's bad. But I have been in LA years ago where you couldn't see across the street. That's how bad LA gets. Like you're on 6th Street and you can't see 7th. I mean, you can't see a block. You can't see 100 feet. It's that bad. Um, LA has very bad pollution. I can't tell you too much about New York. I spent a lot of time in Los Angeles downtown. It's quite bad in LA, and it was 10 years ago. I can't imagine it got any better. San Fernando Valley is where I grew up, and it also was very bad. So, uh, San Fernando Valley is just outside of LA, and it's bad. Filipino Peace says, make sure you're recording all your juries because video evidence is in an accident is like kryptonite. Yeah, you can videotape it, but I'm going to let you know right now. It may help you. But when you go before when you have a Filipino and the Filipino brings Filipino witnesses that may or may not have been there, and you're in front of a Filipino DA and a Filipino judge, you lost. Their feeling is you can afford it. It's just the way it is here. You're a foreigner. Do you trust the Philippines' medical expertise? I will eventually need lower back surgery. I have heard of good things regarding St. Luke's. Yes, St. Luke's is very good. The best medical is Thailand, better than the US. Some of the cheapest medical is Thailand, better than the US. Thailand is better than the Philippines. Philippines is less, I would say, less preferred than the US. Uh, there are really good hospitals in the Philippines, but the really good hospitals don't compare to the really good hospitals in the US, as far as equipment. But above them all is Thailand, and it's cheaper. I'm going to be honest with you. The deductible you pay, and I don't care if you're on Medicaid or on insurance policy, the deductible you pay in the US covers the full cost of the medical in Thailand. And I personally experienced it more than once in Thailand. I had ankle problems. I had hurt my back. I had a couple things. I had to go in the hospital, and the care is superior to the USA and a tenth of the price, literally tenth, 1/10 the price. So uh, if you can and you plan on doing surgery and you have time and it's not an emergency like you had a heart attack or a stroke, you're going to want to go to Thailand. Mm. You should go to Thailand just for the surgery. Have you thought about using a camera on your bike? Video proof of an altercation if it occurs. Also, good YouTube stuff. Okay, I don't do Andrew. I don't do YouTube outside of the studio. The sound isn't there. The lighting's not there. It's too much noise. Whether you're in a restaurant or on the street, I don't dub. Um, so my podcasts are primarily in my studio where I can control. I don't need to wear these. Where I can control everything as far as lighting, sound. Uh, if I have shadows here, I can put on additional lighting here and get rid of shadows. A flip of a switch. I could soundproof the room. I could cut out and use sound devices that cut out dogs, horns. I could put on lighting that light up all sides of the rooms remotely. Um, and so I couldn't tell you because I don't do that kind of YouTubing. Some guys do. I just don't. All of my stuff's in the studio controlled, where I can download it to a program and um, edit. And I edit and I could change sound. I could. Uh, a lot of guys don't want to do editing. Editing takes time, but you get fast at it. You get pretty fast at it after a while. So all my stuff is edited. Um, anyway, so as far as altercations and cameras, yeah, they probably would help you a little bit. But uh, probably, I would say it's a good idea to have a camera if you're going to drive a car or bike. As far as for altercations or for accidents, it's not a bad idea. I just don't do it. Where in time would you recommend for back surgery? Bangkok. Period. There's no other place. Bangkok. If you hit me up, Iron, if you hit me up on my email, which is at pinned at the top, and ask me for the hospital, I'll give you a couple hospitals, but there's several hospitals there that are very good. Uh, how was medical in Mexico? They use herbs. Witch doctor. I don't have to say all those witch doctors. They do that here too sometimes. They have witch doctors here that'll help you. Uh, in the province, they don't have hospitals, so they use herbs and local. Mexico is the same way. They don't have the hospitals. The only thing they do have though is that you don't need prescriptions in Mexico for a lot of the medications like they control in the US. So if you need antibiotics, it's the same here. If you need antibiotics here, uh uh you can get it. If you needed medicine for a child that has ADDT or whatever it is, you can get that there over the counter. It was cheap medical for minor things. $5 to see a doctor and $15 for a specialist out of Mexico City. 15 US dollars. The cost was cheaper. The quality wasn't there. That's all I could tell you. Big slicks. I'll be collecting Social Security in a year and a half. Congrats. Was thinking of bypassing Medicare and using the money towards a Pacific Cross plan. Good idea. Yes, it is a good idea. Not planning on going back to the US much. The beauty of first of all, I carry Pacific Cross myself. I have since I've gotten here. I've used it several times. I've had no problems. They've covered me 100%. I currently just renewed and they raised me quite a bit because I'm 69 and I paid 58,000 for a year. I think when I first started 2 years ago it was 10,000 less, about 45 or 48,000. So it is getting a little pricey, but I'm sure medical has gone up too. Uh, the beauty of Pacific Cross is it'll cover you 30 days if you leave the country in any country you go to. It'll cover you 100%. So if I go back to visit my son in the US, I have 2 sons, it'll cover me in the US, and US is horribly expensive. If I go to Japan, Hong Kong, when I go to Vietnam, no matter what, it's gonna cover me for 30 days. That's good, and they give you get a card, so it covers you. Uh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't have a bit of well, I got Andrew's talking about my COVID. I got supposedly I don't really know if I had COVID or not. I had a really bad flu. I get chest congestions really bad. When it's dusty or windy, there's spores in the air. It settles in my chest. They said I had COVID, but everybody said you have COVID. It doesn't matter if you had a broken leg, you had COVID. So we're not going to go there, but we are going to go to the point where I was in Thailand. They claimed I had COVID. I was running a temperature, and there was a miscommunication in hospitals because they said it was a private hospital, and I thought they meant like you had to be a membership private for this hospital. But what they meant was, as a private hospital, you have to pay for it. Now I could afford to pay for it. They never asked me if I could afford to pay for it. They just said, "Do you need?" I guess they figured definitely a communication error because they don't speak English in Thailand, almost negligible. And so they said, "Okay, well, you're gonna have to go to a public hospital. I guess a public hospital is supposed to be free." And they told me it would be free. Uh, However, it's free for the citizens. It's not free for foreigners. Again, if you're a foreigner, you're not part you're not part of the country. Oh, I'm out of water. It's not gonna be good. Uh, I went to the hospital there and they wanted me to pay a large amount of money. And long story short, I didn't pay it and I took off. I won't be going back to Thailand for a while. uh, can you get Ambien? I don't know all the medicines you can get or not. I'm not even sure what Ambien's for. Is it a sleep medicine? I don't remember. You can get most anything here, but there's also generics you can get here for Ambien. So they get everything out of China. You also get medicine out of India here, which I just had a contact and uh, Bud Brown. I gave it to Bud Brown. He's ordering medicine that was $25 a tablet for his wife, and he's getting it for like less than $5 out of India. I'm going to check back with him and see if I gave him the contact information to get it out of India, and India will ship anything here. It just takes about a month to get it. So there are ways to get medicine. You probably can get medicine. I don't know how the customs are in the US. You probably can get medicine out of India in the US, but I don't know. I know for here you can. It goes through customs. I don't know if it does through the US. Uh, why did I get a slow down mode? I don't know what a slow down mode is. Oh, I put in there a 60-second delay. You can only give me one comment every 60 seconds. I wanted to try that, Andrew. If you're talking about that, you can only make one comment every 60 seconds because I had a problem with a guy who kept texting over and over and over and over like 20 times on my last live. And I didn't catch it because I went on to a whole nother subject like I typically do. And when I finally caught it, nobody else could get a word in right, and I had to delete every single one of them. And it also gives me time for me to read these and to block or time out people. Yeah. Everything is closed on Thursday in the US. Banks, post office for June 10th. Why? I don't know why. There's something special on June 10th? I don't know. Oh, when you go back to US for a vacation, God forbid, if you ever if you have Medicare, you are covered under Part A for hospitalization and yeah, with a deductible. With a deductible. The deductible covers the full cost of the medical here or in Thailand, okay? It isn't free, and I don't wanna go back to the US. The US has too many problems for me to go back. So, there's more people leaving this than coming there, I'll tell you right now. I'm having no luck getting your ebook. I don't know why, Neil, I haven't seen it. Now, it could be your server because if I attach a file to it, a lot of servers, we use some oddball servers, like if you're using Hotmail or some of the other ones that are out there that are cheaper email services, uh, which is your what do they call those guys? They call them I forgot what they call it. Anyway, if you use one of the other cheap ones, they won't do the attachments. Even though I send it, you're not going to get it. You're going to have to go at the top, send it to me again, request it, and let me look at what you're and say, hey, I'm having trouble getting it. Okay, and I've requested a couple times and I didn't get it. So uh, only thing I tell you is that if anybody doesn't get it, you're using some oddball email. Hotmail is a problem, and so is another one. I can't remember the name of it right. Yahoo is a problem. Um, some of them have limits on what you can receive or what you can send. Gmail does not. Anybody that uses Gmail has no problems. So, and most people use Gmail. Uh, that is what happened. Why did I get a slow down mode? Oh, uh, yeah, you can only put one message in a minute. Uh, expect no deductible. I don't know what you mean by no deductible. There's deductibles on anything you have in the U.S. Medicaid, Medicare, insurance policies. I don't care what it is. There's deductibles. Um, yes, there are, and that's why they have. That's why you could pay extra and get your deductible covered with insurance. But at that point, it's cost you so much to cover your deductibles. Why have insurance at all? As it is, insurance is so high in the U.S. and medicine is so high that most people retired cannot afford the medicine that they need, especially if it's special medicine. Medicine here is very cheap. Medicine in Mexico is very cheap. Medicine in India is very cheap. Medicine in the U.S. is extremely over the top expensive, and I've lived in 16 countries, uh, so here Mike said ebook went to junk file on Yahoo, but he got it. So yeah, check your junk mail. Check that. You might have got it, didn't know it. Oh, commemorating the end of slavery. All stock markets are closed. Who decided June 10th was the end of slavery? I don't know. What about the Holocaust? What about I could go on and on. Every culture has had horrible things happen to it. I hate to say it, and I hate to sound like I'm racist or anything, but South Africa is one country that's been, every country's been used and abused at one point in history or another. China as well. So I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't. I don't believe in all these stupid holidays they come up with. I used to have half a dozen holidays when I was younger. Washington Day, you know, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Valentine's, Mother's Day, Father's Day. That was about it. It was very simple. There was under a dozen in a whole year. Now it seems like they've come up with, in the last 10 years, they've come up with so many stupid special days that are holidays. Uh, and I'm sorry, I think it's ridiculous at this point. because anybody decides to create a holiday, and it's like every day is a certain day of remembrance. Okay, well, whatever, I don't buy it. Sorry, guys. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to leave and get some water. I'm out of water and my throat's dry. Or I'm gonna have to cut it back. We've been on for an hour and a half, so I'll go a few bit more, but then I'm gonna have to rest my voice because my voice is starting to get raspy. Hey, come on, hit the like button, guys. Let's hear some like buttons. Uh, let's see. Uh, okay. Anybody else have any questions or want to talk about anything? And don't forget, Paul will be on Wednesday morning with me, which will be your Wednesday evening, 9 a.m. my time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern time, which makes it nice because it's 8:76, I think 6 or 5 a.m. for Pacific time. I think 5. So anyway, you can also there's a lot of things with YouTube that sometimes affects YouTube on broadcasting. They ask you how many commercials you want. If you want any at all. Excuse me, guys. You can make it aggressive. You can make it balanced. You can make it minimal. You can make it none. They ask you how about latency? How often a person could respond? Any one person could respond. How often? And how many you want per minute responses. Also, if you use other sites, I use OBS, which is a free software that's the upload to YouTube. But if you use like StreamYard, there's a couple others. They offer certain things with different formats that allow you to pull out the comments and show everybody the comments, or but they don't use green screens or things like that. You can't use green screens with that, I don't think. But you can do other things, special effects they add so that you, but they charge money. They're a pay service. And if you want unlimited service with unlimited hours or time, it could be upwards to 100, $150 a month. To use StreamYard, especially if you have two cameras, you have to go the highest rate for two cameras. So I don't use StreamYard. A lot of guys do. Geo does, Paul does, Mike does. But they got in way early when StreamYard was free. And because they only use one camera, they're still free. But if I go in there, it's literally going to cost me $100 a month. And I don't see the advantage. So anyway, that's why I don't use it. Uh, let's see. I think I'm going to call it quits, guys. I need to rest my voice. My throat's sore. I'm coughing too much. So, if anybody has any last requests or anything, again, if you want to help out this fella who's lost, but we're going to try to get him to. He came here and he lost his wallet in. I forgot where he lost his wallet. He lost his wallet in the States. Showed up here with no wallet and no money and no cards, and that's a problem. We're going to get him to the consulate. Um, I'm going to be going to Vietnam. Will I report on Vietnam? Probably not. It's a vacation. I'm not a typical vlogger where everywhere I go and everything I do, I record. I'll take pictures, but I won't be vlogging. But yeah, Vietnam will be fun. Thanks, Delta. And um, I'll have a good evening. I'm gonna go to bed pretty soon. I'll take my medicine, go to bed. Uh, so I gotta go fill out the form for Vietnam. I'll start to do that this week. And that's about it. And we're gonna try and get this Christmas thing going for the computer classroom. So if anybody's interested in helping for the computer classroom, I'm gonna start raising funds for it and see if we can raise enough. I think we can. It just takes about 3 months usually to raise enough money to do a computer classroom for the kids in the elementary school in Banalad. So that'll be the next computer classroom. I'm gonna go and work out the particulars with them. I appreciate everybody that liked, subscribed, and watch tonight, and I have a recording tomorrow. I'm doing in the morning. Um, Let me know the next luncheon. Sure, Paul. I have a recording tomorrow with a young lady who's single, ready to mingle. She works 7 days a week. She's really it's hard for her to. She couldn't take a day off, but she's not getting anywhere. So she's not making enough money. She can't, and she sends money home for her parents. And I have another lady. This is a young girl for tomorrow. I have another lady that'll be coming 43 who works day and night to take care of the ranch for her parents that are older. Uh, do I maintain a US phone number? Not any longer. No. Uh, eh, Best way to deal with it is to have somebody that a relative or a friend in the US that gets your mail and you could talk to them. Otherwise, you have to call them from the Philippines. I've only once had to call Social Security, um, which when I spoke to them about, they never did anyway. After waiting hours on the phone, uh, and banking sometimes is a problem because uh, on my card, due to algorithms, they put a block on my card because they thought it was being abused because I used a Chinese company who I was ordering things from a Chinese company, and they're very particular about that. And they were checking my card to see if I had the funds by checking with $1, several $1 checks to see if I had money in the account, if it was a good card. Although they refunded the money, they took a dollar, they put back a dollar, took a dollar. They said, "Oh well, they called it like phishing or something. They're checking to see if you have funds." So they blocked my card, and then all of a sudden I know I don't have a card, which was a pain in the butt. Okay, and it's taken 2 months now for me to get another card. I still don't have it. It's been 2 months with arguing with them because I don't have a U.S. phone number. Uh, and they won't use my email address. They won't send me a PIN code through email, and it's pretty hard to get a U.S. phone number. They know when you have a VoIP. If you use like a service where they give you a U.S. phone number, but it's not, you don't really have a U.S. You don't have a U.S. phone or U.S. phone number directly, and it goes through a voice service. They know it and they won't use it, so they won't send you the PIN either. I don't know. They're backwards in the U.S. if you ask me. But I don't have a business to deal with, and I'm done with the U.S. I don't care. As long as I get my Social Security, I could give a damn. What was your most recent ebook put out? Uh, the last update was 33, version 33, and I did that last year. I haven't done I haven't done a. I've done some simple upgrades with restaurants and hotels in December and January, but I haven't put out a whole nother ebook since then. Not a whole lot has changed. Hey, how's it going, Delta? Thank you. Thank you, 1 0. So you just got on. Don't forget, like, subscribe. Watch for the tomorrow's video will be coming out. Uh, you have a smooth city expat meet up in the morning. Okay, cool. Raymond, hi, Goldfinger. Why did you pick the Philippines? Uh, Two reasons. I got out of the US because of COVID-19. I left in 2020. I'd had it. Um, so I left in September 2020. I couldn't go to the Philippines. They closed the Philippines down. That was actually my choice. So I ended up going to Mexico for 2 years. Then when I saw the Philippines are going to be opening, I went to Thailand for 6 months. And when they opened up the Philippines, I knew it was closer, so I just hopped the flight over here. As long as they didn't have quarantines, I didn't want to deal with quarantines. 2 week quarantines, I'd go nuts. Um, the Philippines I chose because I wanted a younger wife. I didn't want the women that was appealing. There was let me put that a different way. There was no women in the US that appealed to me for socially. Just wasn't happy. I lost my wife, and so the women in the US are completely screwed up. I don't know what happened. They're screwed up. Uh, they think you're gonna pay for everything, and we don't owe you anything. Not gonna happen. It's my money. I work for it. And uh, and so I really came here for the girls and the fact that they spoke English. Also, it didn't hurt the fact that I could barely afford my apartment in Las Vegas and still have food on the table with my Social Security, which was at that time 1,500, 1,600, I think. No, maybe it was 1,800. It was 1,800. Barely could afford my apartment and food and a car, and it wasn't in the best of areas for 1,800 a month. And here at that time in 2020, 1,800 was a lot more money than you needed. You could live here on less than 1,000 a month here. Not so much now, but back then you could. And so I went to Mexico. Mexico is more affordable, and I figured I could learn Spanish, which I did. Hablo español. So the bottom line was, as soon as they opened up the Philippines, I knew Paul. I've been following Paul since 2019, and Baby May when she had a cooking channel, and it's before they even got monetized. So they didn't even have 1,000 subscribers for both of them. And I had always planned on coming here. In fact, I shipped Balak Bound boxes here, and it got here, and I didn't. So whole nother story. But bottom line is the girls, younger girl. I wanted a younger wife, not teenage. I wasn't looking for 18 or 20-year-old. But I did come for a younger wife, and someone was energetic, someone would take care of me, someone that was sincere, which I found. Um, I wanted English speaking and a comfortable living, and I found all three in the Philippines. So that would be the answer. Uh, Alan says, I didn't try when I was there. Do you think my PayPal card will work over there? Oh yeah, PayPal works great for me. Uh, does the card work? I don't use a PayPal card. So if they know you're not in the US, PayPal card will not work here. And if you do a lot of charges, if you're traveling, they'll let you travel. But if you're I know I started using PayPal card in Thailand, and finally they stopped my card, and I asked them why. They go, "Well, where are you living?" I said, "Well, I'm living in Thailand." It says, "We don't support Thailand, so your card's unblocked." Um, Time of interest. AA, where did you live in Thailand? Did you like it? I didn't really live. I toured Thailand, so I started off in Bangkok. I went to Phuket Island. I went to Krabi, Phuket. Oh God, it's gonna be hard to remember the cities. There's another one, I forgot the name of it, I'm sorry, which is a tourist area on the beach. I never made it to the wild side of the street where they have Market Street or Main Street or something like that, where they have all the bars and the girls, but I wasn't really interested I don't drink, so the bars and girls I like the music, but I don't like the bars and girls, I'm not interested in hookers. And, and then I went to, Koh Samui and spent a month in Koh Samui on the island there. Very nice, upscale. But I didn't really live anywhere. I traveled around, went back to Bangkok, and never made it up north. And I'm trying to remember the name of you guys can remember. I'm not gonna remember the name. There's an area everybody goes to up north, and it's with the letter C, and I can't remember it offhand. It's been too long. I'm getting tired. But anyway, uh, you're welcome, Big Sticks. Goldfinger, I'm not a big jewelry fan, but I like high-end watches. Any tips on to get watches? Um, if you like them and you want a discount, I would say a reputable pawn shop. Make sure you get someone to appraise it or make sure that it's a genuine. If you get either Rolexes or high end watches, but I'm gonna say it's passe. Okay, watches are real big in Thailand for some reason. I don't know. Watch shops are like gas stations in Thailand. They're every street. But it's old school. I did like Phuket. I did like Krabi, and there was another one too. And for the life of me, I can't remember it. That I spent a lot of time on, which is on Phuket Island, and I think it has the word ocean in it. I can't remember what that. Not Ocean Springs. I can't remember it. I'm sorry. Later, buddy. Night, Gary. Uh, I used to buy well, I had a refinery, so I had refineries, so I had a gold and silver refinery, so I didn't typically buy silver from a website or another refiner or provider. but I did deal with, San Diego refining, and, I had I if I bought a certain particular type of coins, um, like Canadian maple leaves, that's what I strongly recommend, pure Canadian maple leaves. I dealt with I dealt with, San Diego refining, and there was another one I dealt with, which was Nevada coin in Las Vegas, Nevada. I dealt with them too. You want a reputable dealer, one that's been around for a long time, and, that's pretty much what I dealt with. There's several online that you could deal with. Just make sure they're reputable. Check out their history and see if there's any problems with them. But uh, I didn't send money too far away. I lived in California, Nevada. I would deal with like one state away. I wouldn't deal with the East Coast. I didn't want to have to. If I had a problem, I didn't want to have to go to Florida to deal with this problem. When I was living in Nevada or California. But most of the silver I had minted into 1 ounce coins, and I had a refinery, so most of the silver I had came from my refinery, so I didn't have to buy typically didn't have to buy coins. I made them or had them made. Uh, but I did sometimes exchange silver for coins because I particularly had a liking for, maple leaves and 100-ounce bars from, Handy Harmon, uh, so, stamped bars. That's about it. Guys, I'm gonna call it a night. I appreciate it all. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for revenue. Thanks for the the positive inputs and the thumbs ups and everything else. Uh, I'll put out a video tomorrow on the young girl. Hopefully she shows up. She doesn't chicken out. A lot of Filipinos get really shy and they don't like to be on camera. But I told her I talk slow, which is hard for me, and and I'll try to be relaxed and very easygoing on her on the questions. And then we have Paul on Wednesday. All right, guys. I'm gonna end the stream. You guys take care. Uh and love you all. Appreciate it. Later.